Hello everyone, I'm XO5 Hoops, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. And right now, I'm going to be doing the 2023 NBA mock draft. And there's a lot of hype going into this draft, especially around very big prospects like Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, the Thompson twins. And I'm just going to be showing you my mock draft and picking how I think the teams are going to pick. So with the first overall pick, I'm going to do Victor Wembanyama. I think is a pretty easy decision. Victor Wembanyama is probably the best prospect we've ever seen of all time. And I think it's a very easy pick for the San Antonio Spurs. And for number 2, the Charlotte Hornets. A lot of people are thinking they're going to pick Brandon Miller. And I think they're actually going to take Scoot Henderson. I think Scoot Henderson has been the number 2 of this draft, basically the whole process. And a lot of people are switching up, saying Brandon Miller's the best, and Brandon Miller's going to be a better fit for the team since they're able to LaMelo Ball, and neither of them can really shoot that well. But I feel like drafting Scoot could improve LaMelo's shooting and him playing better off the ball. And I think LaMelo can play off the ball pretty well. They're both good defenders. LaMelo and Scoot are very similar players, but I feel like LaMelo could definitely play the shooting guard position and Scoot. Because I think Scoot does have a higher floor than Brandon Miller, but not as high of a ceiling, and that's why I think they are going to take him. And then for the Blazers' 3rd overall pick, I feel like this is a no-brainer. Brandon Miller, I think they're going to take him. Brandon Miller has the upside of Jason Tatum. He's a very good defender, very good scorer, can score on all levels. And I think this would be perfect for the Blazers. I think they should trade Dame this offseason. And honestly, Scoot wouldn't even be a bad pick for them either. If they're going to trade Damian Lillard, he can play the point guard role and then have Shane at the 3 times 2, Grant at the 4, and hopefully get a new 5. Because as a Blazers fan, a lot of people saying, oh, Nurkic isn't that bad. Nurkic is a kind of decent defender, but he's always injured. Nurkic is probably a bottom 10 starting center in the league. As a Blazers fan, he is horrendous. He cannot score. He's not a good defender. He always fouls out of games. And he's always injured. And he is on a horrible contract. Probably one of the worst contracts in the league. And I feel like people don't really talk about it that much. But the Blazers need to get rid of Nurkic. Need to get rid of Dame. And I think they're not even in that bad of a position to rebuild. A lot of people like to give them slack. But, I mean, deservingly so. But I feel like with the 3rd overall pick, I think that can definitely improve them. And I think with the 4th overall pick, the Houston Rockets are going to take Amen Thompson. I think the better player out of the Thompson twins. They'll get, I think they play him at the 3, maybe the 1, but I'd assume they play him at the 3. A very good player. I think he'd fit the Rockets pretty well. I think the Rockets have a brighter future than some people like to admit. Their organization is not the best, but they do have a lot of cap space. Jalen Green does have a very high ceiling, but he just isn't really there right now. He's a very inefficient scorer, but if he can get his efficiency up and score better on most levels, he can definitely be a very good player in the league. And then Alperen Sengun is still a very, very talented player. Kevin Porter Jr. also kind of a shot chucker. I'd say I don't think they should keep him for the future. If he can become more efficient of a scorer, he can definitely improve, but I don't really have too much faith in Kevin Porter as a starter in the league. So that's why I think Thompson might be the starting point guard, because he can't play point guard. And then for the most unfortunate pick, the Pistons dropping all the way down to 5th, I think they are going to take Cam Whitemore. I do like Asur Thompson more as a prospect, but they don't really need a guard. There's no point in drafting a guard this high. Cam Whitehouse does have a lot of upside, a very talented player, and again, I think that he has a high upside, and I don't think it would be a bad pick at all. For Orlando at 6th, I actually have them taking Asur Thompson. A lot of people are going to disagree with that, but I feel like they are going to take Asur Thompson because their guards are good, but they're not great. And Asur Thompson also does have a lot of upside. He can score pretty well. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people are projecting him to go like 8th or they're projecting him to go into the Pacers, or like I don't even know who's the 8th pick. I think it's the Jazz. I don't know how I'm forgetting. The next pick is the Wizards. Yeah, a lot of people have him going to the Wizards and the Pacers, but I think he will get taken 6th. I feel like he does have a lot of upside. I feel like he's definitely underrated as a prospect, but he's just not the better Thompson twin. but I do think he is a very good player. And for the 7th pick, I have the Indiana Pacers taking Jarris Walker. I think this is also a pretty easy pick. I think he's a very good power forward for them. I think he'd be fit very well with Terry Halliburton and Miles Turner. And this team is very young and has a lot of potential. I feel like if any player wants to get drafted, they'd want to get drafted to the Indiana Pacers. I feel like they're pretty well run for a lottery team. Probably the best run team for a lottery team, except for maybe the Spurs or the Magic. And I think this would be a great pick for them. And then for the Wizards' 8th pick, I actually have them taking Grady Dick. And this is going to surprise a lot of people. But I feel like it kind of just makes sense because they are lacking in a lot of ways. Their only strong suits are shooting guard and, I guess, power forward center with Kristaps. But I feel like they're definitely going to be trading one of them. I think they're definitely going to trade Bradley Beal or Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Grady Dick also does have a lot. He just seems like a Wizards player they'd pick. I don't know why. I wouldn't say it's the best pick for them, but that is just my prediction. That was my prediction for the draft. With this next pick, the Utah Jazz are going to take Anthony Black, just him being the best player available. Shooting guard isn't too much of a strong suit for them either, considering they basically traded Jared Vanderbilt. Actually, not Jared Vanderbilt. I'm talking Malik Beasley. They traded Malik Beasley. They basically traded all their guards. They're going to trade Rudy Gay. And I feel like Anthony Black would fit well with Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. Again, he's also the best player available. A lot of upside. I think he'll definitely be good off the start. I think he's a safe pick. And then 10th pick, I have the Dallas Mavericks taking Taylor Hendricks. Again, kind of one of their needs. Power forward, young, best player available. And their big men are awful. And I feel like Anthony Black, and they're probably going to lose Christian Wood because they didn't start him for some reason. They gave Dwight Powell the starting role. And I think that is where he will likely end up going. And with the Magic's 11th pick, I think because they already took a guard, they're going to not take another guard. I have them taking Rayon Rupert, which is a definite reach. But I do think they're going to go for a more forward/big man position because they already went guard in the draft. I think this is going to be a big reach. I think they're going to reach on the pick. I don't know if they're going to go 3 on, but that's kind of what I'm guessing. I think they are going to take Thompson, and I don't see them taking 2 guards in the same draft. With the 11th pick, I have the Oklahoma City Thunder taking Nick Smith Jr. I think it is also because he is the best player available, and they're kind of lacking guard. No. What am I saying? They're not lacking guard depth, but I feel like they could definitely move Josh Giddey or Shea and then have him start. He's a very good prospect. He's basically been a high prospect for a very long time, and there's not really too much of a downside to that pick. And then I think the Toronto Raptors I think this is going to be Fred VanVleet's predecessor, Carson Wallace. Very raw prospect. He's a really boom or bust type of guy, but I definitely think he can flourish in the league, and I think getting put in Toronto, which is a very good spot to develop young talent, I think this would definitely work out for them. Toronto needs a point guard, and it's just the best decision for them, best player available. And then for my last lottery pick, the Pelicans are going to take Jordan Hawkins to replace Josh Richardson. Not a very good, they don't have that good of depth of guard. They have CJ McCollum and Josh Richardson. And I think he's definitely going to be the predecessor of either one of them. And I think he's a very good prospect. I think he's a safe prospect. I think he will impress a lot of people. I think he's rated very low. I think he's going to get taken around the end of the lottery. But I do think he will impress a lot of people. So this is my mock draft. Pretty controversial mock draft, but I think this is I like it because it's my mock draft. But comment down below what you think. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with this, especially with the Ryan Rupert going at 11. But I think that's what's going to happen. Well, obviously I did think that because it's what I put. But yeah, tell me who you think is going to be at these spots. Not everyone's going to agree with everyone. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and consider watching my other videos. Peace.